Good morning, everyone!
For today's show, we will be introducing you to an endangered language.
Malaysia is a country that is saturated with a diverse range of ethnicities, from the more urbanized ethnicities like the Malays, Chinese, and Indians, to ethnicities of indigenous tribes that roam the lush rainforests of Malaysia. With Malaysia on the rise to becoming a more economically developed country, the feeling of needing to speak English or Malay, the national language of Malaysia, to be on the road for success is rapidly spreading like wildfire. As such, indigenous tribes are looking to disregard their traditional ways of living in an effort to eradicate poverty and provide economic stability for their family. Due to these perceptions, the indigenous languages of Malaysia are on the decline. The language in focus is the Jahai language.
Jahai is an autochthonous language spoken by the tribe of the same name in the state of Perak, Malaysia. Surprisingly enough, the Jahai language is also native to a few people in the neighboring country of Thailand, although very little is known about it over there. The Jahai language is classified as part of the Austroasiatic languages, also known as Mon Khmer. Languages classified in the Mon Khmer group are predominantly Southeast Asian and are chiefly spoken by minority groups. The language of Jahai is also categorized as critically endangered because the youngest speakers of the language are, ironically, the elderly members of the tribe. At the same time, these speakers speak the language partially and infrequently. According to data gathered in 2006, only 1,000 people speak this tongue out of 1,800 people with Jahai ethnicity. Since it is a tribal language, the people are not exposed to the outside world and hence are illiterate. As such, there is no script for Jahai, it is merely a spoken tongue.
Previously, Jahai had never been properly documented and there was limited information about it. However, recently in 2014, Dutch researchers proceeded on to investigate the unique language of Jahai. The linguists discovered that the Jahai people have a consistent and precise way to describe odors, much like how we have specific nouns to describe colors. When native English speakers try to describe a smell, more often than not, everyone will use different phrases, similes, or terms. On the other hand, the European linguists uncovered that when native Jahai speakers describe a smell, everyone will use the exact phrase, accurately depicting the odor. To put this into perspective, when a Jahai person describes a particular smell to a fellow Jahai, the latter will fully comprehend what the former is trying to get across, just with the phrase itself. On the contrary, English speakers have a harder time putting smells into words. The Jahai tribe has a word that describes the bloody smell that attracts tigers. The linguists discovered that describing odors is crucial to the survival of the society, as the main line of work of the Jahai people is hunting. It is important for the residents who forage to avoid bringing home animals that have the smell that attract tigers, lest being attacked by tigers.
Although linguists have documented the uniqueness of the tongue, not much is being done to prevent the extinction of the language. The younger generation of the Jahai people have taken it upon themselves to learn the national language of Malaysia, rather than learning their native language in hopes of securing a place in the modern workforce. Now we will be having a special guest speaker, an elderly of the tribe, and here is what he had to say about the disappearing language.
We, the Jahai people, like many other indigenous tribes of Malaysia, live below the poverty line. We do not want our children to suffer like we have in the past, constantly searching for food. Although I am a proud member of the community, I want our children to live comfortably. The only way for them to do that is to work in the city. But no one in the city understands Jahai, so our children have no choice but to learn Malay. My son works in a restaurant in the city, and I thank God every day because he is going through a better life than I will ever have. Whenever I think of our language disappearing, I become sad. But what can we do? If it dies, our culture gets buried too. However, to me, the livelihood of my children is more important than the passing of my culture.
Thank you, Mr. Dini, for giving us an insight into your perspective.
With some international spotlight on the Jahai language, prospects for preserving the language seem brighter than before. However, for the language to avoid death, efforts must be made internally first and foremost.
Thank you for tuning in today, and we hope to catch you next week with an exciting new topic about language.
Whoop whoop!